Hello, and welcome to the Oregon Files podcast. First, our disclaimer. We are amateur podcasters simply for entertainment. If we misquote or offend, it was not on purpose to do so. And I especially want to say that when we're covering over murder mysteries, crime dramas, because some of these people are still alive and possibly out of jail right now.
Yeah.
Also, we're recording from an attic spare bedroom today, so you may hear kids, dogs, neighbors, birds, airplane just now, what have you. Thank you and enjoy. And here's my co-host, Elliot Bowman.
Thanks, Mark. Good opening, buddy. Not official winter, but it's winterish. We
got snow. It's winter now.
I was gonna say we had our first and probably only dusting of the year.
Dusting.
I was surprised that the town didn't get shut down from our sprinkle of snow and the snow and the plows didn't come out.
Yes, I was going to ask you that because like whenever it just starts to snow, my house shuts down. Like everyone starts screaming like howler monkeys. Like like everyone can hear in the neighborhood. People are running outside.
You're right.
It's a joyous occasion. Yes,
it's just a little bit stuck, but yeah, happy almost. It's the holiday season. Hope everyone is enjoying time with their family and friends and everything. And also a quick shout out to our friends at Two Shy Brewery.
Woo!
We love having them on board. They have a variety of beers and cider on tap. For the youngsters, they got plenty of soda, rotating food trucks. If you go on their Instagram page, they keep up to date on what food trucks they have on a weekly basis, or you can give them a call at 541-236-2055.
I love it. And then we're going to do a shout out to our other wonderful sponsor, Video Games Plus and Level Up Frozen Yogurt. Just a disclaimer, Level Up Frozen Yogurt does close for some of the winter time, so they're going to be closed from now until about January.
Do you eat ice cream in the winter?
I do. I'm one of those weird people. Yeah. Are you kidding? Like as soon as it started getting cold, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get pumpkin pie a la mode from Umpqua Dairy. Shout out Umpqua Dairy ice cream. Still the best. I'll fight anyone with that. Umpqua Dairy ice cream is the best.
Good.
They need to be a sponsor on the show because I would write their ad copy for them. But yes, how about you?
No, I'm weird. No, I'm weird. No, I'll even turn down like a milkshake in the wintertime.
Oh, wow.
I know I'm strange.
I respect that.
I'm a seasonal person. I don't know. But everyone, like my kids and wife, they'll all go get milkshakes. And they're happy as clams. And I don't know.
Wait, okay, where do you go in Roseburg to get a good milkshake?
Okay, they recently went to In-N-Out.
Okay.
$3 a milkshake. They thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Besides that, Frosties from Wendy's or Five Guys has good milkshakes, or Red Robin's got good milkshakes. So a couple options on the milkshake.
Have you been to the In-N-Out then?
I have been.
What do you think?
I like it too much, to be honest. I've had In-N-Out before, but there's the double doubles, man.
The double.
You know what I love? It's like perfectly on the bun.
Always looks good. Like it's commercial quality every time.
It's so stinking like the eyeball eating of it first. You know what I mean? Like it's so stinking good.
And they have a tight ship. Like that, other businesses need to start copying that model because they have people taking the orders, they confirm the order twice. I've never had a mistake. Everyone's friendly, but yeah, that double, and you're right. Its pricing's like not too bad either. I'm like,
not bad.
Not in this economy. Like I'll go get a double. Yeah.
No, I'm happy that Roseburg was able to get one.
Yeah, let's hope we keep it nice. Keep it nice, Roseburg. Yeah. So Video Games Plus. So definitely go there for your holiday shopping needs. They have cool gift cards. Come and explore. They have an impressive game section, all kinds of cool, great gift ideas. You name it. Definitely explore the plus side of Video Games Plus because there's a lot of there. Friendly staff. Video Games Plus. They're off Stevens in Roseburg, Oregon. Open 7 days a week. What do we got on tap for today?
On tap, coffee. Lots of coffee.
Yes.
We got some true crime stories. We got info on some coffee shops around the world, and I got a little story about one of the oldest restaurants and coffee shop, I guess, in Oregon, and I think you've got some tales of.
I got 2 stories for you today.
All right, well,
yeah, we'll jump to the first one. And speaking of the coffee theme, I don't know. I think it was a month ago. I said, "Hey, we should do a coffee murders," and you're like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then I oversold it. I was I thought I had like 100 coffee murder stories, but I found 2 that kind of tie in, so it works. So
okay, we'll talk slow.
Let's do it. So the first one though, this one's more of there's a shop here in Roseburg, and they had a bunch of stands. It's called Gotta Have a Java. And if you're listening to this right now and you remember that, this is where the story's going. So Gotta Have a Java was like pre-Dutch Bros. They were like the big thing in Roseburg. Like if you want a coffee, you went to Gotta Have a Java. I think they had 3 stands plus like one in Fred Meyer.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Like this is the original, like the cowboy mix, the cowgirl mix. They had the,
they're like an up and coming coffee shop.
They were great. Yeah. Brewed their coffee there, made it quick for you. In fact, my first cup of coffee was made by the stand-in Fred Meyer. I was working at Fred Meyer at the time, young and out of high school. And my boss was like, hey, you know, if you really want to get a lot of work done today, I'll buy you a cup of coffee. And I'm like, I've never had coffee. And so my first cup of coffee was from Gotta Have a Java.
Which is a great name for a coffee shop.
Oh, great name.
Gotta Have a Java.
Yeah, Gotta Have a Java. Then my love affair with coffee, it was very instant.
Took off from there.
It was not right. I got so much done that day. My boss said, like, if you're going to do that much work, you know, I'll buy a coffee every day. So, yep, that kicked it off. Now, the hard part, though, with Gotta Have a Java, as with all companies, you grow, you get successful, money may become a problem. The owner, at the time this story takes place, his name was Michael Mallory. He was 52 years old, and he went missing in 2008. So that's where the story is going to go. Okay. Right. So 2008, owner of Gotta Have a Java goes missing. They find his pickup truck down an embankment, but he's not in it. And there's no signs that he was injured in the truck. Okay. But Douglas County Search and Rescue still did a full search of the river that it was by. They did all the roads, that kind of stuff, you know, APV, everything like that. No body. The other things that were missing, though, sadly, so it wasn't just him missing. The other things missing were the receipts, the money from that weekend from the Roseburg coffee stands were gone. Mallory was entered into a computer system as a missing person in March 2008 when his pickup was found crashed against a tree along a riverbank. Now, according to news reports at the time, the coffee business had caused a family rift. So he left his home in Glide for work as usual on that Monday morning. Search crews covered 4 miles of Little River downstream to North Umpqua, but did not find him. Mallory was due in court Monday at a hearing regarding a lawsuit between him and his parents regarding the coffee business.
Oh, no.
His wife said she did not know where he was. Now, the funny part was that where the truck was found was not on a route that he had been expected to take that Monday morning.
There's not a lot of places to go out there if you're trying to hide.
There's not. Now, North Bank Road is a very thin 2-lane, one way, you know, opposite ways going. I remember North Bank Road very well because I learned to do my driver's ed on this road. And they purposely did it because it's one of those roads that speeds fluctuate a lot. Right. It's very windy. I remember the class I was in, there was a girl that was really scared to drive. And I didn't want to be in the car because she was scared to drive. She was scared she was going to hit a deer. And this is a true story. I'll never forget this. We're driving. You know, the driver instructor's like, you're not going to hit a deer. I'm with you. We're going to be fine. What he didn't anticipate was a suicidal deer that fell off a cliff while we were driving, landed on the hood of the car, and scared the crap out of everybody. Okay, so talk about this girl who's scared to drive, and a deer literally falls from the sky onto the hood of the car we're driving, right? The deer was fine. He hopped off and ran off, but it was enough to where she was in shambles. His parents, Bert and Evelyn Mallory, they sold the business to their son and daughter-in-law several years ago and were suing for $150,000 they say the couple still owes them.
Okay.
There was, the hard part with this story is...
From the sale?
From the sale, yeah. They still owe them $150,000. Because the parents, so I guess the parents got it going, sold it to their son and his wife, and he still owed the money, and all of a sudden, you know, he goes missing. A lot of rumors in Douglas County about this, you know, family, friends, rumors, that kind of stuff, employees who work there. I'm not going to go into any of the rumors.
Right.
Because there's a lot of them.
A lot of them.
Where was the money
either
funneling?
He didn't want to so do you think he had the money and he just didn't want to pay it up, or maybe he didn't feel like he owed it to them? Or maybe he just didn't have it, and you know,
I'm gonna be very careful on how I answer it. It's funny, but now I know that I believe he had his family worked for him too at the thing, so he had his kids work there too.
Yeah,
I think I don't know. There's a lot of rumors. That's all I'm going to keep saying because I'm very careful on what I want to say because so you don't know. Now the crazy part is Michael Mallory's still alive. So here's the best part: he goes missing. The thing was
we know of.
He went missing. Now get this: he was found alive about 8 months after going missing. He ran off to San Diego, and he would have been fine if he stayed in San Diego. Get this: he decides on a weekend lark to go down to Mexico. When he's coming back into America, he gets stopped at the gate and shows up as a missing person. If he hadn't gone to Mexico, he probably would have been fine and still missing to this day, right? Yeah, the sheriff's office received a call from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Office at the San Ysidro port of entry south of San Diego, reporting that officials had detained Mallory. A Border Patrol officer found Mowry was entered in a national computer system as a missing person. According to the Border Patrol officer, Mowry said he had been living in San Diego area for the past 8 months. He told officials he recently traveled to Mexico and was returning to the U.S. No crime was committed. So they let him go. There's nothing to extradite. Like Oregon's like, the Douglas County Sheriff's like, well, there's not a warrant out. Like he didn't.
Well, he was just doing the court, right?
Because he was just doing the court. So
first the settlement on money, right?
Yeah, but so there was nothing. There was no reason to detain him. So he was let go, and that's honestly kind of where the story ends. We don't know kind of what developed further from there as far as the lawsuit. We don't know if the parents dropped the lawsuit.
Right.
We don't know if he ever moved back to Roseburg. This guy could be living 3 houses down from me and I not even know it.
Right.
Right? That's the crazy part about this. The guy just goes missing, goes on a lark, and then gets caught. So anyways, that's our first kind of coffee little mystery. This guy could still be doing very well for himself.
Right. Gotta Have a Java is still...
Gotta Have Java is no longer. They went under. I think you now have Java Run. Has a lot of their old menu items. This will be one of those ones maybe we get some feedback from somebody. I mean, look, Michael, if you want to be on the podcast and tell your side of the story.
Right. So basically he's like Tupac of Douglas County.
He's a Tupac of Douglas County.
You know?
Yep. I love it. I love it.
Sweet and Low, Suge Knight after him, you know? He had the coffee. I don't know. It's a bad joke.
So that story was kind of the, I like that. That was a good segue. Story now, there's actually a murder story.
Okay.
I got murder for
All
you,
right.
okay.
Here's our true crime.
This is the crime that happened. This is a 100% true story. You can actually watch, and as I did watch a documentary about this murder that happened in Roseburg. If you want to watch it, there's a TV series called Wicked Attraction, season 4, episode 12. It aired October 20th, 2011. The title of the documentary, and I'm not making this up, is called Lesbians and the Little Man. At first, I'm like, that cannot be real.
I know exactly what you're going to be.
I know the story. You know the story of this.
This is an amazing
I did know this one here. You want to talk about rabbit hole. This was 5 hours of my life researching this and getting all the detail I could. This is a great story. So this is going to go into July 3rd, 1990. It starts really at a pool hall, downtown Roseburg.
Where all things start as a great pool hall.
You just don't go to a pool
low
hall.
light.
Yes, low light pool hall. After 8 p.m. at night, never a safe place.
Shady characters in the corner on a 3-legged stool.
Yes.
Somebody playing a harmonica.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody sharpening some nails in the corner.
You know, you got to,
Right. A bartender with an eye patch.
It was at I'm trying to, the pool hall, I think it was called Rexon Reds or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, and now it's called the Sportsman.
Rexon Red. Mm-mm.
Yeah. I know right where it's at downtown. It's right on the main strip there. But anyways.
The main strip.
The main strip. We have these two women who met up in Salem a couple days prior. One had just been released from jail, and that was Tracy Lee Poyer, and she met up with Tamara Upton in Salem. Now, before they met up, Tracy had, she just got out of prison. Within 24 hours, she stole a really nice blue Chevy. It's like, I think it's a really nice one that like kind of stood out. But so of course she's going to steal the nicest thing.
Well, she needs transportation.
She needs transportation, okay? Right. And she's got to be flashy.
She's got to get out of there.
But she decides, she's out of prison. She's going to start her life anew with her lady friend, her partner. Things are going great. So she goes, I'm going to go to Roseburg and start my life over. So they come down to Roseburg. They're hanging out at the bar. And this is the pool hall. This is where they run into a gentleman by the name of Donald Fish. Donald Fish is a dwarf. 4 foot, 4 inches tall.
I've played pool with a dwarf before. His name was Bush.
Bush?
And he was actually a decent pool player.
There must be something that helps them. There must be some little advantage.
There was like an extension to the pull stick.
They get an extension, like a handicap?
No. Like an extension to the pull cue. I get, I mean, you figured if you're, he had like an extra pull cue and he got to like set it on the table and just like use that.
Is that fair?
Well, is anyone going to say anything?
That's true. But if they're hustling, then it's not fair.
Well, no, it was all good fun.
I guess so.
I actually don't even know his real name to this day. Oh,
man.
Don't even know why we called him Bush.
So Donald Fish was in town. He was not from Roseburg. He was here. He's a traveling.
Don't say circus.
No. This is where it's hard for Mark. Okay, we're gonna be very cool with the disclaimer on this. I'm gonna be trying as PC as I can because I had to look up a lot of stuff. Donald Fish was part of two things. He was a traveling portrait photographer, but he's also part of the LPA. And I'm like, what's the LPA? Because the article kind of just glazed over it.
Yeah.
Do you know what the LPA is? What do you think?
I was trying to figure it out in my head. I don't.
The LPA, he's a proud member, was the Little People of America.
Oh,
It's
okay.
an organization
There you go.
for empowerment, awareness, and community.
Oh, good.
Donald Fish is
Yeah.
there. But the thing is, Donald Fish is good at pool. He is hustling. He's making money. The problem is he's a little showy with his money. He's flashing around. And so these two girls were like, they
Rule
decided.
number one, Donald.
Yeah. They're like, they're going to get this guy. Okay. So
Right.
sure enough, they're like, hey, show me how to play pool. They start schmoozing with them, that kind of stuff. He ends up having a great night. He buys all their drinks. They decide they're like, well, let's go back to your place. And he goes, this is going great. So he thinks this is going to be the night of his life, right? He's going to do a
Having a
horizontal
good
polka
time. Right.
with, this is going to be the stuff of legends for this guy.
Right. Nothing wrong with that.
I really like this guy. This guy I would have liked to have met. I bet his family loved him. He's a nice guy. He's very gregarious. And I guess he was. He was very much like a ladies' man. He starts kissing on one of the girls in the car. Tracy, the one who was just out of prison, who's got a terrible track record. By the way, both these women, the backstory, horrible upbringings. She doesn't like it that he's making a move on her girlfriend. So she takes a knife, cuts his nose.
What?
Like literally puts the blade up there, cuts his nose open.
Ouch.
Right? Not okay. He goes, what are you doing? What are you doing? They take him out, shove him in the trunk of the car.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Then they drive down a couple streets down and go down to, where the bridge is when you go from like Denny's to downtown and
Washington
vice versa?
Street Bridge.
Yeah, Washington Street Bridge. So they got to go down that area there. They drag him out of the trunk and they bludgeon him with rocks.
Oh my gosh.
Like brutal style. This is not an okay thing. They desecrated his body. Like they bludgeoned him. They threw, and it was so bad. So the next morning, some lady was walking along the shore to collect rocks for her collection and finds him. Finds his body.
Poor Donald.
Bloody rocks everywhere, that kind of stuff. I mean, it was a gruesome man. Okay. So police are dealing with that. Now, it's the same time police are dealing with this body they found. They're trying to work backwards on the story because I think, I don't know how they've realized they tied it back to the pool hall because they were pretty quick to go there to find out what was going on.
That's
So
where he was well known from or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe we hung out a lot.
That's just it. Yeah, maybe he stood out there. But remember, he was traveling through. He was only here for like 3 weeks when this went down. So, but there was enough. There must be something in his pocket too. You never know. But anyways, they were real quick to go to the bar. Now, as the bar's going down, a state trooper, this is the next morning, a state trooper is just driving down the street and there's this car about to get on the on-ramp to go down to California.
Uh-oh.
And it's a stolen blue Chevy, right? He runs the plate. It comes back stolen. So the thing is, if those ladies had gotten that, if they made the murder and then got on the road that night, they probably would have made it to San Francisco. No, they waited until the next morning.
Or got in a different car.
At this point, this cop has no idea that these people are wanted for.
Oh, they're just looking for the stolen
They don't
car.
even know. So he pulls them. He at gunpoint handcuffs both of them, gets them arrested for the stolen vehicle. They're in jail. The car gets impounded. Okay. So now, as all this is going down, the cops are leading an investigation. Other people at the bar knew those women because they've been trying to find a mark the whole time. They've been hitting on other guys. So they got real well known. They knew about the blue car because people had seen the girls getting in and out of it. So they were already known. So real quickly, the cops, that was kind of within that, first day, all points bulletin for this blue Chevy and for these two girls. Now, I don't know if it's embarrassing, but it's interesting is that they put this out there. Hey, we're looking for this stolen SUV and these two women. The girls are already locked up. And they already have the vehicle in the impound yard. Same day.
Man, it doesn't get easier than that for police work.
Get
right?
this. The tow truck driver is the one who had to call the police department and say, hey, I brought that into your guys' yard a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
So the cops go out there, sure enough, bloody handprint on the back of the thing.
Just no attempt to hiding or
no
covering
attempt
it.
to hiding it, that kind of stuff.
They're
So
just malicious.
yeah. So they realized, so the funny part was, they interviewed the women, both women, they're like, they don't know anything about it. They think they only saw them, they had a couple drinks with them. That's the last they saw of them, right? But then the women were then telling their jail cellmates, oh yeah, we killed this dwarf last night. You're not going to believe it. He had a lot of money in his pocket. Good golly, right? So anyways, as you can tell, both women convicted of murder, right? So that's the first part of this. Takes place in Roseburg, terrible, but we caught him the same day, so that was good, right? Now, that is not where the story ends. And this is where we're going to tie this a little bit to more coffee, because Tracy, she's in prison, and she goes to Coffee Creek Penitentiary.
Yes.
Yes. So anyways, so Coffee Creek Penitentiary, she's there, and so she starts manipulating one of the female guards there. A woman by the name of Pamela K. Trimble. Convinces Pamela that they should be together. She should help her break out, that kind of stuff, right? Well, things kind of get, so here's the funny part is Tracy actually has a history of like escaping, that kind of stuff. In sort of her entire life story, she escaped from like 5 different prisons. This woman knew what she was good. She was a manipulator. That's what it was. She was going to manipulate poor Pamela, the guard at the jail. So they caught on that Tracy was, probably going to escape. So they move her to a different jail. And sure enough, within months, Pamela breaks her out of that jail. Enough to where
she just talks the guards into like putting her in a laundry bin in a truck and just like driving them off the property. And
so here's the crazy part was there was a lot of calculation in this. Pamela brought a red pickup truck. She parked across the street, across a river. So she waded through this little river. She had bolt cutters, so she cut a hole in the fence. And they didn't have like barred glass on the windows then. So she gave her a tool to help pry open the window. So Tracy crawls out of the window. They cut through the river, get in the truck, and drive off. Okay. Now, where do they go?
Where are you going to go?
Where are you going to go, right?
I mean, for real.
So they head to, of all places, I mean, where do you go when you're trying to hide? Is Rhode Island. Why would you not, right?
Yeah. I mean, the small estate.
Yeah.
Population's got to be small. Good place to hide.
Right. About a month later, they were arrested in Rhode Island. Now, I don't know why this is funny to me. It's not, but anyway, Proyer, a jail guard, she was working at a bakery, and Trimble was working at a sausage factory.
You got to get what you can get.
Yeah, I don't, there's some irony there of a lesbian working at a sausage factory.
This episode has gone downhill.
That's the one, right? Okay. Now here's the deal. They caught the hard part was Tracy pretending to be a man. So what kind of gave it away was Tracy like literally put on like a fake mustache, cut her hair to look like a guy, and everyone knew it was like a woman. Like who are you trying to pass off? So everyone she was of course she's suspicious of all get out, right?
Right.
So
no Adam's apple.
No Adam's right. So of course someone goes like I think she looks like that woman who escaped from Oregon, right? I don't want
to say anything.
I don't want to say anything. It's either a really interesting guy or so. Someone tips off. Someone recognizes her, tips it off the police. The police show up at the sausage factory and get her, right? Now, at this point, the cops don't know.
Please tell me the cop name was Oscar and last name's Meyer.
I don't have that name. Now, but I will tell you, there's a funny part that happened though. When they find Tracy at the sausage factory, Tracy says, "Yeah, you got me, but I just want to say goodbye to Pamela first."
Oh, now, you can't let him do that.
Well, here's the funny part. Normally you wouldn't, but here's the best part. They didn't know Pamela was still in the picture. She was wanted too, right? They only had the information on Tracy. They had no idea that she was still with Pamela and that Pamela was down the street at a bakery. So at this point, they're like, yeah.
Oh, she tipped them off.
Yeah, take us to Pamela. And you can say goodbye. Which was messed up because they did like show her get arrested and they yelled at each other through the, police car window and that kind of stuff.
Stupid criminals.
Oh,
Episode of Stupid Criminals.
Right. So
do you think she was a good baker?
I imagine.
You go from prison guard to being at a bakery?
There's so many jokes I can make. I'm not going to
how do you even get a job at a bakery?
How do you know what? I wondered it too, because this is back then. Okay, background checks, maybe they just weren't doing it right.
Must have been like a family-owned bakery or something.
Yeah, this was in 1997, so maybe they didn't have as many background checks, that kind of stuff. Because at that point, you're using a fake name or you're making up a social security number. Yeah. Like, because at some point, something's going to hit, right? Someone's going to say, hey, wait a minute. You're not who you say you are.
Right, kind of backstory. Yeah, I got so many questions on that.
Trimble got 5 years, second-degree escape, that kind of stuff. So she is free. At this point now, she's free and out and about somewhere.
Yeah.
The prison guard, right? Tracy was already never going to get out from her murder from Donald Fish, her prior crimes, and now this escape as well. She is never going to see the light of day. In fact, after she was recaptured, she was going to get at least 6 months in solitary confinement. And they had to move her back to Coffee Creek first, and which since her escape, they up the security mechanisms, that kind of stuff. Now, the most recent development in this type of story was actually had to do with her first accomplice, Tamara Upton. She died in the infirmary ward at Coffee Creek Correctional Facility. She was on hospice care for an undisclosed illness.
Broken heart.
Oh, I know. She was upset that, maybe she read the news. So she died 2019. So the last audit, so 2019 is when Tamara Upton died.
Recent.
Yeah. She was 27 years old when she and Tracy murdered Donald Fish. And she,
So she was like in her 40s when she died?
Actually, I think it was like her 50s when she passed away. Yeah. A little more on Donald Fish. I did find his memorial.
Okay.
That was published online. He was born on June 23rd, 1956 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He was the son of Fred and Marilyn Fish. He moved to Vancouver 2 years ago from Grand Rapids. This was back in 1988. He was a graduate from Sturgis High School. He was a member of the LPA and worked as a salesman for American Photographic. Cremation had to take place. because of how badly he was. Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. He'd been working in the Roseburg area for about 2 weeks when he was murdered. I will segue, a teaser for another story we'll do sometime was Tracy was not the first female to escape from that jail. There was another woman that escaped before her that we will cover at another time. And she has a crazy murder story.
Yeah.
So we'll cover her someday too. Okay. But
well, it's interesting what you said about you don't make excuses for people, but really the upbringing is kind of hit the nail on the head. I mean, I don't know people can make choices of their own, but I mean, sometimes people don't, I think they're so far gone in the mental state of what's evil and what's good. I think they just kind of carry forward in their life, and
it's all they know.
I mean,
they
it's
just
really,
know the chaos.
It just takes running into poor Donald to really stop it. So
it's really sad. It's really sad though. But anyways, so her accomplice though, the only one still alive and out and about then would be Pamela K. Trimble.
Yeah.
And she'll be out and about somewhere.
And a bakery.
In a bakery somewhere. You never know. Making macarons.
You really want a macaron, don't you?
Macaron so bad. Just a good one. I just haven't had a good one yet. But
good macaron.
Anyways,
not a manual macaron. You want a macaron? Macaron. I don't know. They're good.
So those are my two coffee related things. There was gonna be another coffee related murder mystery, but I could not verify if it was connected to coffee, so I let it go. But
good job.
Good job. We got some more murder stuff coming up. I keep going down rabbit holes, but at least we had to cover that story about Donald Fish.
Yes.
That's such a Roseburg legend now.
It's interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of speculation.
Yes.
So, well,
what do you got?
How about something a little less true crimey?
Yes, please.
Elio just likes to read facts, like trivia stuff. The most expensive cup, according to what I found, the most expensive cup of coffee in the world is $100 cup of coffee, or a little over $1,000 per pound. It's made by a company in Panama, and the type of coffee, it's called Eladia Geisha Natural 1029. I had no idea where the name came from, but there's only 1,600 cups of it in the entire world.
Whoa!
Panamanian grown brew is said to represent a fourth wave of very expensive specialty coffee. It's run by, so this estate that it's run by the Lasmistis family. It's 4 generations of coffee family brewing since 1918. When the founder of it's a farm, Robert Lasmistis, bought a property along the Baru volcano. So they grow coffee along this volcano.
Wild.
It has elevations between 5,500 and 8,200 feet above sea level. Eladia is the highest coffee farm in Panama. Although coffee is only grown between 5,600 and 6,200 feet, a large part of the farm is dedicated to ecological reserve area in the Volcan Baru National Park, which is a World Heritage Site.
That's cool.
So not only do they brew coffee, but they also kind of take on a lot of like in that area they care about like the ecological area, right, which is kind of neat.
So is it so expensive? Then it's because it's the rarity.
It's a specialty type of coffee. Grown by like a near like a volcano. I don't really know how that affects like the coffee taste. Is it bitter, or is it extra sweet? I don't know, but you can find out. $100 a cup here.
Because my first
insane.
That is insane. But then it's like if it tastes worth $100, that's one thing,
right?
Or you get enough caffeine kick out of it to get like $100 worth of work done,
right?
But the rarity of it, see, I'm on the fence.
How big is a cup of coffee? That's what I want to know. Are we talking
right?
Are we talking just like a little teacup?
I probably would try it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not financially responsible, so $100 a cup of coffee. I'm like,
I would split it with somebody 50-50.
There you go.
That way, we both can say we tried it. So
I would do that all day long. $50. Yep.
Why not?
Snort a coffee.
Snort a coffee. Which led me into looking up, coffee is such a old beverage. It's been around for so freaking long, right? I mean, forever, right? People have been tasting and growing coffee for a long time. So it led me into thinking or finding out what some of these old coffee shops, you know what I mean? Predate a lot of points in time. So I have 5 of them. So the first one's in Turkey. I'm not going to try to pronounce this. The first ever Byzantine cafe and the world's oldest known continuous run cafes based in Turkey. Coffee has, after all, long been a beloved drink in the particular region. At some points in pre-modern Turkey, a woman could divorce her husband on the grounds that he didn't have enough coffee.
So she could divorce him on the grounds he didn't have enough grounds?
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Right.
That's pretty good.
And
wow.
It's this old institution remains more relevant. It's located in a historical building with high ceilings, beautiful stained windows, and dark wooden furniture. It's pronounced Tamis Kavesi. I'm sure I pronounced that fantastic. It sticks to a traditional coffee. It has a frothy and freshly brewed drink. The cafe's particular has coffee that is thick enough to stand a spoon in. Could you imagine drinking that? Have you seen Turkish coffee? The way it's like super thick.
It's always on like the Travel Channel shows. Like Josh Gates always gets it, where it takes like a minute to make it. Yeah,
it's like mud.
Yeah, it's like
right. The cafe is located in the southernmost part of Turkey. This coffee house is situated in the premier pistachio-grown region of Turkey.
Oh,
this makes its caffeinated drink brewed from pistachios.
I'll be darned. That is very fascinating.
It's interesting.
That's
right?
very.
This next one takes us to Oxford, England. The name of this place is called Queen's Lane Coffee House, and it was built in 1654. Sorry, the place in Turkey was 1635.
Wow, that's crazy. They're close. Now, the one in Turkey, does it say how much a cup of coffee was?
No.
It should be charging $100. So
no.
that's what the racket is.
No. So Queen's Lane Coffee is located on Oxford's Queen's Lane. This coffee house was originally first founded in 1654, which would make it Europe's oldest known cafe.
So that's location and timing was what that is.
Right.
You do not give up that prime real estate.
Right.
And they named it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to name it? I think the Queen's going to be around for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
This claim has come into a bit of a question, however. Although Oxford First Coffee House was established on Queen's Lane, the current cafe, so a moved location, has only been in business since the 1970s. The history of the cafe and its location can still be traced to the mid-17th century founding by Jewish Syrian immigrant Sergei Jacobus, per the Oxford Jewish Heritage Committee. Queen Lane's Coffee, which rebranded as QL.
Okay.
They just shortened it.
That's funny.
In 2009, is a hidden gem with its wooden facade, and its only indication of a coffee house is cozy and down-to-earth interior where booths and round tables beckon for coffee lovers to come in and enjoy some easy dining. Large windows offer plenty of street viewing while sipping on a cappuccino, espresso, and lattes.
Nice.
What is uniquely British is the coffee house's full British breakfast that will certainly leave any guest satisfied. QL adds an interesting twist to its menu with Mediterranean as well as halal food stuff. It also serves Turkish coffee,
nice,
which adds like a bright spark to the English weather. So
I would go there. That sounds really nice.
Definitely go there.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I guess I'm making a bucket list of all the places I want to go and just to have it. Yeah.
All right. Next on the list here is Paris, France.
Mm-hmm.
One of my bucket list destinations.
Oh, yeah.
All these places probably are. It's one of Europe's most enduring cafes. It's located in the central hub of Paris. It was established in 1686. It's a Café Procope. It was originally a Sicilian-led undertaking, also lovingly referred to as Le Procope. It is long since morphed into not just a French, but undoubtedly Parisian. It's located on the gorgeous left bank. It is a classic example of the cafe literature or a literature cafe. These particular coffee houses exemplify the perfect union of good cafe and a good book, whether you're reading or writing the next good book. Places like Café Procope have been home to conversations and a good game of chess. Literary legends in France, such as Voltaire and Diderot, were only a few of the major writers to find home at one of the Le Procope's tables.
That's cool.
To this day, they still have Voltaire's desk. It's preserved on the second level of the cafe. Americans such as Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson could also have been found indulging conversations at this location.
That is amazing.
Pretty cool. It was renovated in the late 80s. So, like probably most old buildings.
Yeah.
Eventually you have to renovate them. But all right, it moves down a little south here to Venice, Italy.
Hey.
Cafe Florian has that unquestionably Venetian charm with its red velvet, gilded corners, and marble tabletops. There is a certain flair and boldness to this cafe that is particularly understandable why it has remained a cornerstone of Venice since its opening in 1720. This cafe has business for so long that it counts the likes of both Claude Monet and Andy Warhol among its many guests.
Wild.
Which is pretty amazing to think. Standing power isn't all due to the bygone days of glory. Though the coffee house might be ostentatious, the cafe is meticulous when it comes to food, drink, and service. It, of course, does not hurt that this coffee house also became a hub for carnival debauchery. Everything that is done there is done with intention, quality, and pizzazz. And before I go on, I found a lot of this info on a website called mash.com. They had a bunch of stuff about old coffee houses.
That's awesome.
And then their fifth and final one is also in Italy, in Rome, Italy. Antico Cafe Greco is referred simply as Cafe Greco. It's another historical location in Rome. It opened in 1760 by a Greek name Nicolae del Madella. This cafe, like many others of its time, became a second home to the revolutionary, artistic, and intellectual. Famous patrons that include in Greco's lifespan are, of course, Shelley,
Mary Shelley,
Keats, Princess Di were also known to stop by for an espresso. The European names, the famous like Monet, and but then Buffalo Bill and his Cowboys. Well, I guess you think they were traveling around the world doing
a Wild West show.
Right, I found that so random. Buffalo Bill, apparently his photo is on the wall at this cafe.
Do you think he drank like his pinky up in the air too?
Right.
Like that's
So
that is wild. I like.
What makes this cafe especially unique is how important it was for artists. The fact that smoking was allowed in every inch of the cafe might have also helped bring in more notoriously indulgent artists.
Huh.
And those are the cafes I have. So if you're listening and you need a little help on where to go for old cafes, there you go.
Yeah, classic. Those are,
Right. And then this, I have an old restaurant in Oregon.
Ooh.
It says it's one of the oldest one in Oregon.
Okay.
I found this on a website called fhspost.com. And the name of this cafe is called Huber's Cafe.
Hubert's?
Huber.
Huber.
H-U-B-E-R-S.
H-U-B-E-R-S. Okay.
Yes. It's kind of a neat little backstory.
Okay.
It's in Portland, Oregon.
Checks out.
And it originally opened in 1879. So 20 years after Oregon became a state, it was originally called the Bureau Saloon. It was known for its famous turkey meals and Spanish coffee.
Huh.
We're going to get to the turkey in a second.
Okay.
First owner of the Bureau Saloon was Louis Eppinger. Frank Huber, whom the business is named after now, worked as a bartender and eventually buying out the business in 1895.
Nice.
Another gentleman by the name of Louis Wei Feng, he was more commonly known as Great Uncle Jim Louis, was hired by Huber in 1891 to cook at the saloon. Back then, if a drink was purchased at the saloon, the owners would give the customer a free turkey sandwich, which started the turkey tradition at Huber's. So you got a free turkey sandwich if you purchased a drink. Now, is that not the greatest advertising I've ever heard?
Mackerel.
You go have like a cocktail or whatever they sold back in 1891. You get a free turkey sandwich.
Because the thing is, the fact that it's free, it's automatically going to taste good.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So during the Prohibition era, which was from 1920 to 1933, of course, it put a lot of businesses that provided alcohol in a very tricky situation. Many of the businesses came up with a solution, which became known as speakeasy establishments, which were illegally provided alcohol during Prohibition. So Huber's Cafe was a speakeasy. James Louis, one of the current owners of the restaurant, gave the history of this family's ownership and spoke about how the saloon turned into a restaurant. After the decline of sales in alcohol beverages, patrons and customers shared the idea that the saloon should start charging people for their famous turkey sandwiches included with the beverage. So the most talked about item is the Spanish coffee, served at Huber's since the early 1990s. Louis shares how he and his wife brought this drink to the history of the cafe. We were in the restaurant in the 1990s, and we saw how the coffee was being made. I then thought it was a good idea to add some rum, then some bourbon, and some famous Kahlua. So they're the largest buyer of Kahlua in the state, and he says we're actually the largest buyer in the country.
Whoa.
With that, we are really largest user of Kahlua in the world and even the galaxy, he says with a smile.
You know, I love when people make that claim. Great claim. Take it. Take it.
Another patron who was interviewed goes on to tell a story. My favorite story about Huber's is the barber shop that's right out front. At first, it was part of Huber's, and the customers could get a drink, a sandwich from the saloon as they got their haircuts. You can get a haircut, get a free turkey sandwich, and a drink all at once.
That's a good Sunday
you know
afternoon,
what I mean?
right?
So the long-running ownership of the restaurant under Louis and his family has kept the restaurant doing well for a long time. Throughout the years, especially during the pandemic, he's continued to thrive. James Louis's parents gained ownership from 1953 to 1990. He said, "My great-grandfather was the owner, passed it on to my father, who passed it on to me." The location of the restaurant has not always remained the same. It is currently located in the Railway Exchange Building. Before 1910, Huber's Cafe was located in a building at First and Morrison.
Okay.
The current location retained almost all the same aspects of the first saloon, landing itself on the National Register of Historic Places in 1979. Huber is one of the most dynamic dining rooms in the country, Louis shares. The accessories are over 100 years old, like the brass ship clock above the door and the pewter wine bucket. Due to Prohibition and Louis converting the saloon to a restaurant, the house turkey was kept as a specialty. Louis had been cooking turkey for 29 years, and he knew how to do it properly and made the best in the city. The menu expands. They have turkey, they have steaks, lamb chops, roast duck, seafood. The restaurant being a speakeasy, you can also order a Manhattan in a coffee cup. And Louis explained the great Uncle Jim passed it off as tea.
That's amazing.
As the oldest restaurant in the state, Huber's main goal is to keep the aspect of the old-timey feel to surround anyone dining, especially those new to the city, as it's one of the biggest parts of the identity of Portland. There you go. So if you ever go to Portland, or if you live in Portland, or you want to go check out an old-time restaurant, go to Huber's.
Yes.
And I think I will be visiting them myself next time I'm in Portland. So.
Well, I was just going to say, yeah, I am too. So Huber's, get this, there's a turkey package.
Oh, my gosh.
You ready for this? My mouth is watering. Okay.
Yes.
You can order it. It's $179.95. Not bad
great
for what
price.
you get. Okay. This serves about 10 people. It includes 12 to 14 pound whole roasted turkey, the whole bird, 2 quarts sage dressing.
Oh, wow.
2 quarts mashed potatoes.
Oh, my gosh.
2 quarts gravy, 1 pint cranberry sauce, 1 loaf of beer bread.
Oh, my gosh.
And 1 whole pumpkin pie.
That's a great deal for $180.
I'm in. That's
you know what I mean? That's Thanksgiving dinner, right? You know, part of it.
I love, but then the best part is there's a $25 carving fee.
Oh, they carve it for you?
Yeah, for $25.
Yeah.
But you know that you're going to carve that nice.
You know, yeah, for sure.
Oh, man, that
menu.
You know
that's going to be a good turkey, too.
The pictures are incredible online at Huber's.
You know that guy probably makes everyone always says, like, turkey's dry. You know that guy probably has, like, the best freaking turkey recipe.
I'm telling you right now, I'm looking at these pictures. I am getting the meat sweats looking at this menu. It's just beautiful looking meat. Wow.
Anyway,
okay.
I was super happy to find that.
Yeah.
You know, because people will visit towns and they'd be like, any good places to eat? You know, you'll go up to like Portland or other areas and you'll ask, do you know any good places to eat? And I was happy to, find that because now now I know of another restaurant I want to try when I'm up in Portland next. So
I might order that. I have a daughter that lives in Portland right now, and I was hey,
there you go. Let me know if you do.
Closer to Christmas, right?
Yeah, that's great.
I paid for it. Have her pick it up and bring it down.
Call it out.
Oh,
you probably need to.
Yeah, reserve it. Yeah,
right. So we have a lot of good coffee talks, sir. Mm-hmm. How do you take your coffee? I know you've evolved your coffee drinking over time.
Over time. I've really gone the route of the cold brew.
Yes.
I'm very much a big fan. It's less acidic. Because when I was just drinking like straight black coffee for a long time, or even adding cream and sugar, like, it's acidic, so it eats your stomach a little bit. You get little tummy issues. So cold brew is my preferred way to go. You get the good taste, you get the caffeine.
Yeah.
And I can just drink. I can do cold brew all day.
Yeah.
You don't want to because it's too much caffeine, but
nothing in it.
Nothing in it. I go straight up. And the funny part is I've practiced. You want to get a certain coffee bean. I found out. So you almost want the either a dark roast or espresso coffee beans, and you coarse grind them up, and you just steep that in water overnight, and it's delicious.
And you just put it in your fridge? And
just put it in my fridge. It takes about 24 hours to brew, but it's so good.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, during like seasonal stuff, like if there's a pumpkin spice, like half and half or something like that, I'll add a little splash of that in there. But most of the time, I straight up cold brew, man.
What about if you go to like a restaurant? Do you order coffee?
Oh.
You just get black?
So for that, if it's a special occasion, I go to a restaurant. Yeah, I'll just do black coffee. Like, you know, like Apple Peddler and Sutherland's got really good black coffee to have with a good pancake breakfast. Like, boom.
There you go.
That's done all day. Now, if it's like a place known for their specialty coffee, like I would have the Spanish coffee at Huber's.
Right, to see what it tastes like.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to ruin it by putting a bunch of cream and sugar in it.
Right. Oh, you would just drink that black?
I would go black on that. You'd have to.
That's probably a good point. Because you don't want to dull down the taste if it's has like a unique flavor to it by putting like cream and sugar in it.
How about you?
At home, I do like the Keurig.
Oh yeah,
cheat, you know. I do like creamer that's like it's like no dairy, no sugar in it. I don't know.
Okay,
I can't remember. It's like almond or something like that. But if I go out to a restaurant, I just do coffee with a couple of creamers in it and sugar in it.
I respect that. I respect. Do you have a coffee place you try like in Roseburg that you drive through at all?
No. When I grew up in New Jersey, there was this one diner, the Prestige Diner. I think like almost every day we would go there and get a cup of coffee.
Okay.
And then we would just sit at the counter and,
that's cool.
and drink coffee with friends and stuff like that. So I think that's when I first started drinking coffee was high school.
No, coffee's the most thing part because you're right. We have a Keurig too.
Yeah.
And that's become the norm.
It's just so convenient.
It's so convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I mean, I like your the brew, the cold brew process.
It's good. It's worth the shot.
It's worth it. Yeah. Next question.
Yeah.
Have you gotten anything for Christmas that you didn't like? I can't remember how we were wording this one.
Christmas gift. Okay. We went back and forth on how to answer this.
Right.
I kind of like this angle better.
Yeah.
We were going to ask what the best holiday gift we think we ever gave.
Yes.
But I like, let's do a bonus question today. Yeah. Best holiday Christmas gift we think we ever gave and worst one we ever got.
Okay.
I can take a minute to think about it. Okay. Because the funny part is this is all perspective.
Right.
Man, worst gift I ever got.
I'll say the worst one I ever gave.
Okay.
You
go first.
I'll say this. It was all in a matter of opinion of a 6-year-old child.
There you go.
She wanted,
judgmental.
My daughter wanted a real Barbie car.
I remember this.
Okay.
Yes.
She was looking forward to a real Barbie car.
Oh, absolutely.
And she had in her mind, all right, my parents are going to get me a real Barbie car. Boom.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good Christmas.
Great Christmas.
Come Christmas, we do Christmas Eve. Come Christmas Eve, she opens it up and it's like a Lego Barbie car. World shattered.
My
and
gosh.
until this day, we
can't
razz her, right? And she just said it just so sadly. I don't know how to say it. She just said, "I want a real Barbie car," and she didn't storm off. Of course, she just like set it to the side and went to the next gift or whatever. But I can't think of anything that I've gotten that I disliked or anything like that. But
the only thing I ever got that I worked at a company and we were doing Secret Santa.
Yeah.
And I was being funny. I wasn't that interested in it, but the boss at the time forced us to do Secret Santa. And I was content. I didn't want anything. And, you know, I'm a nerd, so like I'm not going to get specific. Like I need like Silver Surfer issue 75 Chrome cover if you can find it. No. So like I was going to be real kind of an easier, funny. I honestly, when I wrote my list for the Secret Santa, I forgot I did it until my first gift came. So I put on the number one. First thing I wanted was world peace.
There you go.
And number two was
easy,
right? And then number two, I put down anything David Hasselhoff.
Even easier,
right? Anything David Hasselhoff, but as a joke. And then third, I put on there like coffee gift cards.
Sure.
I once again, okay, I should tie this back to coffee, right? You're right. I should have numbered those differently. Right. I thought I was doing the most outlandish. I thought anyone reading my list would be like, oh. And I think I'd put a winky face after David Hasselhoff being funny. Because this was
sarcastic.
Right, being sarcastic. I got Knight Rider Season 1 DVD set.
It's probably worth some money now.
Oh, I hawked it pretty quick.
Yeah.
It was a nice, the person that got it for me was so excited to give it to me. I was so thankful.
Probably like special ordered it.
Oh yeah. I remember I came home and I showed my wife, like, look, I got Knight Rider Season 1 on DVD. She goes, you don't even like David Hasselhoff. So
the Hoff.
Never got a coffee gift card, but yeah, that was just be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
The other thing I've done too, and I'm notorious for this, is Secret Santa. You know, the rule is like, if you draw your name, you're supposed to put your name back and draw somebody else. So I was working for a different company at the time. I drew my name. I thought, sweet, I don't have to spend money on anything. This is the best way, right?
Oh, you got to put it back.
No.
So, no, you screwed the whole thing up.
I screwed this. So here's what happens.
No.
Come Christmas Eve, everyone's got a gift on a tree but Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't think about buying myself something on a tree. I wrote it off.
All right. What about the other person too, right? Because now it's not equal.
No, because I drew my name. So I just took myself out of the running. Okay. So here's the deal. I didn't draw somebody else's name. I just drew my name. No one has to get me a gift. I don't have to get anyone else a gift.
Right.
I thought I'd save money. So I was working a later shift that day and people came in and noticed that I didn't have a gift under the tree. So they thought, oh, maybe it's that girl that got fired. So everyone had to people ran out and got me a gift basket. To this day, I still feel horrible about it. Like, Mark, we think so-and-so was supposed to get you a gift and she got canned. So we put together this gift basket.
Right, she should have.
I'm like, oh my gosh. Like you couldn't say like, guys, I drew my own name. I didn't play by the rules. You know, someone's listening to us right now. They're gonna be shaking their fist at the podcast.
We got him a gift basket we shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And then what's the best gift you ever gotten? Is that what we went?
Best gift given or gotten?
Oh, given. I like given.
Yeah, I like given better.
I'll say this one's a little cheesy, but I got my wife a few years ago. It was like a hand sewn, kind of like on a canvas thing. And it was the dates of my daughter's birth, both of them. And then the dates that we got married. And I wasn't expecting her reaction. Yeah. And the reaction was just like utter emotion. I'm like, I was expecting like, like she was really liked it, but like, I don't know, that really just,
that's awesome.
That home run. And I just remember everyone else, because the other husbands are there, they're all shaking their head at me like, way to outdo this. Right. Way to outdo it, Eleanor.
You feel like a peacock, also you're strutting your feathers walking around.
That's right.
Yeah,
I got the good gift, guys.
Dude, that's awesome.
A good one. Yeah.
Man.
Of course, it's probably like in the back of a closet somewhere,
I mean, that's what most Christmas stuff happens that way, right? Gosh.
In the attic.
I don't know the best gift I ever gave. That's the funny part. It's always the funny part is when you think you give something, you think you put a lot of thought into it. And people are like, oh, I didn't want this at all.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
You had to get this for me.
Right. Sits on a shelf. Right. I have a hard time buying gifts.
Yeah.
For people that you know so well. Yeah. And you live with them and you're, you feel like, they have everything that they need. So it's really hard buying gifts. I have the hardest time with Chelsea. It's like,
oh, my wife and I already had a conversation because if we want something, we just kind of go get it. You know what I mean?
That's what she says all the time.
Yeah. Right, we're not going to wait like 6 months for something.
Right.
No,
if you want something, you just get it.
Yeah, we just get it. So like this year we kind of said, we're just going to do we're going to exchange like a Christmas card and write a nice sweet message in there. Right.
There you go.
I usually give my wife really sentimental stuff for her birthday or Valentine's Day. Yeah. For Christmas,
love,
that's just what it is. One year I was in a brownie mood for some reason, and I did like 8 different brownies.
I remember that.
It was amazing. There were some great different brownies. We try to have a game night and play, have all the family out for game night and do that kind of stuff. And so just, have a lot of laughs and that kind of stuff. My sister's really good at gift giving. She spends the entire year, like she's an amateur photographer, and she takes photos like everywhere she goes with her husband, and they go all around. And so every year we get this really sweet calendar with all these great photos.
That reminds me.
Yeah.
We were going to, just reminded me.
Yeah,
we were going to do that this year, make it calendars.
See?
For the family.
Okay, there you go.
Me.
How funny. Calendars are the way to go. Yeah. Especially if you took photos all year, especially with your cell phones these days, it's real easy to kind of like go back each month of the year and find a cool photo that you took. I probably would do that again now. But no, my sister's really good at it. She takes really good photos. And man, that wasn't even a gift I gave. It was the one I received.
Well, it's a new year this year.
Right? Yeah.
There you go.
No, good questions.
All right.
Yes.
Good stories.
Yes. Coffee stories.
Thanks for sharing. And Mark and I are working on getting some more guests on so you don't have to listen to 45 minutes to an hour of Mark and I fumbling and they're making our way through episodes. So we are working on getting guests. If you want to get a hold of the show, email us at OregonFilesPodcast@yahoo.com.
Yes.
On Instagram at Oregon Files Podcast. I have a link in like the little bio area. If you click on it, it actually takes you to all the directories that you could go to listen to the podcast. Hope everyone listens and enjoys this episode also. So
that's right. One shout out to one of our interviews we did was with Rappin' and Rollin'.
Yes.
They are going to be possibly closing up shop here at the end of the month is what it looks like. Their business is for sale. Their food's amazing. It's the best vegan restaurant Roseburg had.
Go support Darcy until she closes her doors. Please go order some food or say hello to her. And we forever will appreciate, her sitting down with us and talking about vegan food and just her restaurant and herself. So
thank you guys very much.
Thanks so much. And cheers. Enjoy your coffee.
Yes.